Three.
Welcome to Exploring Hyperspace Lanes. I'm Adam,
And I'm Josie.
and I got a new shirt.
Oh
Let me
yeah?
see, let me see if I'll be able to show you. But I actually just bought it because I've been going back and forth to visit my grandmother in the hospital, and before we record this, I went to Walmart to get a drink because I got to take something for my arm, and I got a new shirt that, let me turn off my virtual background so you can see it. Video, uh, blur my background, unblur the background. There you go. And that's it. Can you
That's
see?
pretty cool. Does it
Yeah,
glow in the dark?
I don't think so. It was only $10.
Hmm. Did you get it
Um,
at Wally World?
I did.
Nice.
So I got that.
Wally World's the best.
Yeah. So I got that. Um, I went to the doctor again.
Oh yeah?
That was my big adventure today. I left work early to go to the doctor. I have
Okay.
tennis elbow.
From what?
Work.
Doing what at work?
I work in a warehouse. There's a lot of repetitive motion, which can cause
Oh.
tennis elbow.
Oh.
Um,
Weird.
so now I got an ace bandage on my arm. My arm doesn't bend all the way. That's cool. I'm on a steroid. Um,
Okay.
and so I can't run a marathon. Damn. Um, and I have what's it called? I have to go to an orthopedist to make sure it's nothing worse, but right now they just say it's tennis
Wow.
elbow. So my
Wow.
my left arm is out of commission.
Well, bummer.
Yep. So how have you been?
Oh, grand.
That sounds not very grand.
How about you?
Oh, besides, the elbow, same shit, different toilet.
Gross.
Never heard that expression?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's on you then.
I've heard same shit, different day.
Well, it's the same. It's a derivation. It's the same thing.
Is it?
It is. We gotta like bring the energy up. It sounds like we put our voices into an AI thing and we put it in and we get very monotone.
Oh. Um, right now, so I like to put on um like the Star Wars soundtracks and stuff when we record to get me in the mood. Um, when we do Star Wars stuff.
Hmm.
And right now it's the soundtrack where they have the fight in episode one.
Oh, Duel of the
Where
Fates.
Maul, yeah. So it's pretty intense here.
We sound like
Hmm.
again. I sound like we're doing the NPR thing again. Like, yes, indeed, very
Yes,
well.
I will get
Um,
into it.
yeah. I did read a Star Wars comic today.
Did you?
Yeah, I
Yeah, you gotta send me the stuff so that way I can start doing and we
well,
can
this I bought.
rotate that in because
I
I'd be
paid
down.
I paid for this one. Because it came
Well,
out
send me pictures
Wednesday.
of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll screenshot all the pages and we can very slowly pirate the
Could you?
comic.
There we go. I
Yeah,
can make
it's
some money off that too.
at my what's it called? At the expense of my data plan. Yes, we can pirate the comic. But yeah, it's apparently Marvel Comics. Well, because the Star Wars is owned by Disney and Disney owns Marvel, and
Hmm.
um Marvel now does a good amount of the Star Wars comics. They're doing like because it's the 40th anniversary of um Return of the Jedi. They're doing
Hmm.
like side stories from Return of the Jedi. So the first one came out on Wednesday. It's called Jabba's Palace. And what the comic
Oh,
is, it's like 35 pages. It's the story of the protocol droid. Well, it's a translator droid that had the job in Jabba's Palace before C-3PO did.
oh, okay.
That they allude to, where it's like, what happened to the last translator? He got killed when Jabba, um, when he annoyed Jabba.
Oh,
That's what the story is.
hmm.
Um, and there's some pretty, interesting things there. It's like this Twi'lek comes in and he thinks he can pull one over on Jabba.
Okay.
So what he does is he tries to pull one over on Jabba by turning the translator against him and using the translator to his will with the promise of freeing the translator droid and getting the restraining bolt off of him. Um,
Okay.
and Jabba figures everything out
Hmm.
and kills the Twi'lek. And
Why are you
um,
saying it like that?
how else do you pronounce it?
Twillick.
Okay, I always did
You know,
Twi
the
like.
correct way.
Oh, okay. Do they say it at any point in the movies? Hmm. I don't
Not
think
in the
so.
movies, but they definitely say it in the animated series.
Because I was thinking like they definitely pronounce it this way in the audio book for Rise of the Resistance or Resistance Reborn. I'm sorry, that's what it's called, Resistance Reborn, which is like between episodes 8 and 9, and it's almost entirely on Ryloth. Um, but I have it the last page drawn up. There are 5 more of these comics coming. Um, the next one is in April. It's Ewoks, so it's a story of Ewoks. The one after that is Lando.
Ewoks. I love Ewoks. I have a little stuffed animal of Ewoks.
We had one for Max, but he murdered it.
They what?
We had one for Max, but he murdered it.
Oh, well, I'm not a dog, so I didn't murder
You
it.
know,
It's
would
still
I
cute.
didn't say you rip it apart with your teeth or something. Like I'm saying we did have one as well, but it was for the dog, and the dog killed it.
Mine is Disney as well. Like I got it at the parks.
Oh, okay.
It was my um my gift to myself.
I did that when I went to the parks 10 years ago. Was the last time I went to Disney. Um, because I went. No, it would have
You
been
know,
9 years ago, but
I was recently looking at um like the price of it to go again.
it's expensive.
Yes, it is very expensive. It is like wicked expensive. So when I was pricing it out, this was like a full week,
Hmm.
and it included a so it was 4 days at the Disney parks,
Hmm.
1 day at the Disney water park, and um 2 days at Universal's. Because if I'm going down there and I'm
You
going to
might as well go to
parks,
Harry Potter
I might
World.
as well. Yes. Um, the last I love Harry Potter World, by the way.
I've never
Um,
been.
oh my gosh, it's so cool. Um, and then it was now, and I got a great deal on a hotel. I had hotel down at $400 for the whole week
That's not
at a
bad.
condo. Can't beat that. Um, and then flights were expensive because I'm coming all the way from the Northeast, and
Yeah,
it's just everything's expensive to go into to Orlando. Um, so that was probably so it was gonna come to around $3,000 for me and somebody else to go.
that's not bad.
What's not bad, my ass? Come on, I could go and I could, I don't know, spend a week on the beach in Cancun for that. Like,
But you get if you can spend that much and go to Cancun, it's like I think that a Cancun vacation is less
all
inclusive.
inclusive,
Oh, all inclusive. Okay. Because yeah, that's true. You're not even budgeting in food and all of that, but you're gonna have to
which you don't
like
have to when it's all inclusive. Like,
right. You're gonna have to like sell a kidney to be able to eat in Disney. Um,
right. That was
and,
with the food as a part of it, by the way. That
so you could
was
like
like
for
with
me,
food
money
in mind.
notwithstanding, I would wait to go to Disney or make a trip to Orlando in general because I would wait until they open the third park in Universal.
So you told me about the Universal Park that's supposed to be showing up in Vegas soon,
Yes,
right?
they're building 3 new parks Universal.
Are they?
Um, there's the park in Vegas, which is all horror stuff.
Which is going to
So
be awesome, and
so
I
it's
will be
like
making another trip to Vegas
that's like they
to go check
consulted
it
you
out.
entirely and we're like, so what do you think we should do? It's like let's put a park in Vegas, and while we're
And
putting the
let's
park
have
in
it
Vegas,
terrifying.
let's have it be all the horror stuff. So it's like Universal Monsters and then like all of the other
Yeah.
characters that they have.
It's
I
gonna be
think
pretty
they have
cool.
like Freddy Krueger, and I think they also might have um Michael Myers. I don't know if they have Jason, but I know they definitely have Michael Myers. But like all the horror characters they can pull together are gonna be there. They're putting like a kids park in Texas, which is like Trolls and How to Train Your Dragon and Shrek and that kind of stuff.
Mm.
Um, and then in Orlando, they're building a third park called Epic Universe, which is like those other two parks are kind of like small parks. It's not like a full-size theme park like the Orlando or Hollywood ones. This is like they're like mini parks, like kind of like Legoland they just built in Orange County in Orange County, New York, or Sesame
Oh.
Place, but it's like they're like small day trip kind of thing.
Have I told you about the thing in Vegas that I really want to go do, which is the Saw themed escape room?
I think we mentioned it, and I think I said
Okay,
you
we've
couldn't
already
pay
talked
me to
about
go
it.
in there.
All
Yeah,
right.
because it's like, yeah, what's the worst what's the worst possible escape room you could find yourself in? It's like, oh, someone where someone will try to kill you, like
Yes.
is removing body parts part
Yeah,
of the
that would be
escape room.
amazing, wouldn't it? Oh
I
my
mean, look, as long as I get
goodness.
to keep all my limbs, sure, but I don't want to be
Well,
scared.
I mean, if you get to keep all your limbs, then what are you going to take with home with you as a souvenir?
I mean, I would assume that someone else keeps because isn't it didn't in one of the Saw movies like they had to like it was two people in two separate rooms and they had a scale and whoever put more of their own like severed body parts on the scale got to live.
Ooh, I can't remember. I don't think so, though.
I seem to recall that was in one of the Saw movies 'cause that would have come out when we were in high
Is it
school
on
and
a
people
newer one, though? Because I'm not really up to date on like
it
the newer ones.
it would have come out when we were in high school because people were losing their shit over it. Um,
Really? Because I know that there's, so I have one through three, but I don't think I have the ones beyond that.
I've never seen any of them for the record.
Oh,
Um,
let's see.
I've only just recently started expanding my horror horizons. The month of April is gonna be rough for me for beware of spoilers because there's a lot of horror movies coming out, and I
Mm-hmm.
really do not want to see Evil Dead Rise in the theater because that looks way too scary for me. Because people who listen to the show and listen to Beware of Spoilers know I am historically a colossal pussy, so I don't want to go and see that in the theater.
Correction, I have saw one through five,
Okay,
and um, I've seen Saw six. Then there's the Jigsaw,
there's seven, eight,
and Saw
nine.
the final chapter. And then I have not seen Spiral, which
Spiral's the
apparently is a
new one.
Saw one.
It's a
I
spinoff.
didn't know that it was from a spinoff of Saw, or I would have watched it. So I'm gonna watch that now. Because it has the guy that got slapped in it, right?
Will Smith, not Will Smith, Chris Rock.
Yeah. And then there's Saw X, which is coming out
Yes,
2023.
that's coming
So
out in October.
I haven't seen Saw the final chapter or Jigsaw, but I would like to.
In the list of movies I gave you that we're doing on 30-minute reviews this year, the week that we're doing Saw is the week that Saw X comes out.
Oh.
Because, like, if you look at the list I gave you, it all kind of coincides with other major releases happening in the same franchise. So, like, the week we're doing Fast and the Furious.
Oh, there is one. It's Pound of Flesh, and
Okay,
that's on Saw 6.
okay.
Which is one of the newer-ish ones. Newer.
And, like, doesn't the girl
It's
just cut her
from
arm off and put it on there? It's like, I
Yeah,
win.
she does. It's that's the 2009 one.
Yeah, so we were in high school. I remember people losing their shit over that, and it's like, really? All right.
I might have that one too. I feel like I have most of the ones except for maybe 2017 and on,
And
because then
James
it's not called
Wan,
Saw anymore.
James Wan with those movies did what very few other directors have been able to do because he parlayed that into Conjuring.
Oh, I didn't know he was the director of Conjuring.
Yeah, he directed Saw and then he went on to do The Conjuring. He didn't do all the
No wonder
Conjuring
I liked
movies.
The Conjuring.
The
The
Conjuring is
first
fantastic.
Conjuring is fantastic.
It,
Yes, it's
like
like
it,
it was an instant classic.
it's an R-rated movie, but it's not R because it is gory or there's nudity or anything like that or anything. It's just
It's R because it's genuinely
it's
terrifying.
scary. And that was what happened was they got the R rating back and they were sure they're getting a PG-13. And they asked the MPAA, what can we do to bring this down to PG-13? And they said, there's nothing you can do. The movie's too scary to be a PG-13.
Yeah,
And then like Annabelle was PG-13, so do it that way. And there's also a new Nun movie coming out this year.
I'm not a fan of the nun
Well,
movies.
that's a spin-off of Conjuring. And did Juan also do Insidious?
Yes,
Or is it just that Patrick Wilson's in both and I'm conflating it? I always mix the two up.
I think
Um,
I think he is an Insidious, or he did do Insidious.
because Insidious is also coming out with a new one this year.
Oh,
And James Wan also did Aquaman.
oh,
Yeah.
hmm.
Um,
Well, I love scary movies. They're fun.
yeah. So fuck me. My battery is dying somehow. My
Uh-oh.
laptop's been off all day. So let's get through Thrawn and we'll make this a quick episode.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Thrawn?
What did I think? So, Ron,
Mhm.
the this is probably my least favorite of all the Thrawn series.
Of the three new ones, or not new one, the three medium new ones.
The the three Thrawn series by Timothy Zahn.
Well, there's
This
two of those now.
this there's three series.
Right, because it's Heir to the Empire, Thrawn, and then Thrawn Ascendancy.
Yes. Um, this is my least favorite series.
Okay.
Um, I find the writing style and the story's cool. The first one in this series is the one that we're talking about, right? We're not talking
Yes.
about the whole series.
No, just
Okay.
the first one.
I do like the first one. I think it's fine. I think it's okay. Um, I think it's a pretty cool story about how, he gets recruited and how he's found and how he makes his way through the ranks. And I think his arc with the backworld guy is cute.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's an okay story. I hate the writing style.
I can't stand Zahn. I really like he is one of the stronger writers of Star Wars stuff, but um
Do you
he
feel that way about every series or just this one in particular?
it is all of them.
I feel this way about just this one in particular because the one where it is taking place around outbound flight, um, I actually really enjoy that one.
I just don't like all of his stuff. He uses the word fingered way too much. He uses salvo way too much.
But he doesn't use that same language in the other ones.
He's
He
great
definitely
with,
writes
and
this one in a very different style.
the thing is, I think he does a great job with doing what is essentially a naval fight, but with spaceships. He does really great action in that regard.
Hmm.
Um, but I think that the entire like what's it called? The entire how the fuck did my battery get this low this quick?
Is it
Um,
cold out?
no, it's not.
Hmm.
And I haven't used my laptop all day to see in my bag. Maybe it didn't go into sleep mode properly. Anyway, um, I think that like the way he does the naval battles is really interesting, and that makes it kind of worth reading. My only problem is, it's weird this book, because at the end of the day, this is an immigrant story. This is the story of someone who is an outsider. He's a refugee. From what we've seen of the Empire's been almost entirely human. There's a very like almost white supremacist kind of way the Empire works. Where it's like it's like, look, they're not all white. There are the occasional like not white person working in the Empire, but by and large, entirely human. And
Mm-hmm.
aliens are not part of it. Aliens that don't look human are not part of it. And Thrawn, throughout this book, is ostracized for being a chiss. And it's a story of an immigrant who's coming to a new, country, for lack of a better word, and is going to do what everyone else can do and do it better. It's just weird because it's the Empire. And it's
Oh,
like, okay,
okay.
we're rooting for him because, innately we want to root for the person in the situation. But the problem is it, the it's like he's helping the wrong side.
I don't know if we necessarily. So we want. He built it as though we want to root for this guy because he is on the the he's on their side, but he's also on the side of true justice and true redemption and trying to really make sure that people get a fair shake, and we get to see him do MacGyver crap and see him be really smart and stuff. But uh, it's hard to see or even like the character because of the way he's written, or that Timothy Zahn has chosen to write this character out in this set of, you know,
See, that's the thing
Thrawn
too,
books.
is Thrawn, this isn't a Thrawn origin because Thrawn already knows how to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's Thrawn's origin within the Empire and proving himself to the Empire, which, let's be
Yes.
fair, in the first like 5 chapters, he goes from being a nobody on a planet to having a private audience with the
So
Emperor.
isn't this all prior to, the Emperor being um made the true Emperor? Or
No,
before Jedi are gone?
this is Outbound Flight isn't canon anymore. This is all um post Revenge of the Sith. It's between Revenge of the Sith
Okay.
and Rebels, this entire trilogy.
Okay.
Um, so this is closer to the beginning of that, but it is this weird kind of situation where it's like, oh no, it's flashing red.
They're trying to make him seem like a nice guy, as he's done a great job of in other series, but the way he's written out is just so freaking pretentious and annoying that you can't even get past it.
See, I
It's
disagree on that because
so hard to listen to.
I think they do a good job of of outlining how he's a genius because there's a very fine line you have to walk in this kind of situation where it is you have to if you're going to show someone who's this smart, you have to prove that they're this smart while also not making it look like they are just pulling stuff out of their ass because that's what the plot demands. Or it's like they have no way of knowing this besides like their superpowers, they have a copy of the script. Like kind of
But
like
he
how they
does
did.
such a good job in other ones. Like it's not needed to see every this person's thought, every single thought,
No,
and
you
how
don't need
it's,
that.
and then his hand graced across his upper lip. Like it's far too in depth. It's probably around the same reason that I don't like uh, Stephen King, and
Oh,
how
okay.
it's far too in depth.
That's fair.
And it's
That's
just
fair. If
like,
you don't
all
like
right,
Stephen King, you won't like
get
this.
on with it. Let's move on.
That's fair. But yeah, my laptop is dying, so I'm gonna try and keep it quick. But yeah, I think that the book is kind of strong. I think that as the series goes on, I think two. Oh, now it's giving me the alert. You might want to plug in your PC. Like, thanks. Okay. Um, the when you get to um what's it called? When you get to the second one of the three is definitely the worst because it is a shameless tie-in to the parks because the
Mm,
entire story takes place around Batuu and it's like, who gives a fuck about Batuu? Like, besides
mm-hmm.
anyone involved, the Walt Disney Company trying to get you to go to Galaxy's Edge. The third one I like the best of these three, but none of these three are as good as Heir of the Empire and that entire trilogy or Outbound Flight even. I enjoyed Outbound Flight more. Um,
Outbound Flight is great.
I think that we'll get to Outbound
I
Flight in the
think it's my
future.
favorite. I think it's my favorite of Timothy Zahn's series.
I think Heir of the Empire is probably my favorite because I think that that trilogy kind of loses its way too. But I think Heir of the Empire is like
Which one's Heir to the Empire? What
that's
happens
the
in it?
that's the one where Thrawn first appears and he is one of the remnants of the Empire trying to take down what's it called? Trying to take down the New Republic. And Leia's
Oh, okay.
pregnant. Yeah.
It's been a while, so when I re-listen to it, I will have to.
Because that
I'll
those
be able
books
to get
really
the
lay
better.
out Thrawn the strategist in a real way, and that's like
But
having sat
I
through
think
season
out.
4 of The Flash, I can say that they did a much better. He did a much better job of showing someone who's this much smarter, and that's his, for lack of a better word, superpower than how
Mhm.
they did like the Thinker in The Flash, where it's like, okay, his superpower is that he has the script for the next 3 episodes. That's how he knows what's going to happen. Because there's no
Oh.
fucking way he can figure this out.
Hmm. I
But
don't know.
yeah,
I think. I do like it in Outbound. I like the way that it's laid out and how it's explained that he's this real smart guy, and it's cute because he's taken like another person under his wing, and we get to like see his development towards it, which seems to be a pretty big like theme in it, that he's always taking somebody under his wing to teach them his ways.
Yeah,
And that's how he thanks them for their help, even though it's definitely just for themselves himself.
right.
Um,
It's also why I
which makes him
really
kind of an
was.
interesting character.
It's why I thought there was a chance that Thrawn would show up in Andor, to be completely honest.
Hmm.
Because when they were showing Deidre do the kind of things that Thrawn does, where she's looking at the patterns and is like, if I were carrying out these attacks, I would do it this way to make it look like it's an accident or make it look
Hmm.
like it's random. I was like, oh shit, you know who else does that? Thrawn.
Yeah, but he's not the inventor of thinking.
Well, no, but that level of thinking and that level of strategy, that is 100% the way Thrawn operates. To the point where I'm like,
That's true.
this is gonna be like him coming in, and then we got Yularen, but not Thrawn. Um,
Hmm.
which speaking of which, let's just finish this up, and then I want to bring up one last thing really quickly before we go. Um, where would you rank this book?
Oof.
I would put it at number 4, and the ranking right now is Mandalorian season 1 at number 8, somehow Andor at number 7, number 6, The Bad Batch season 1, number 5, Dooku Jedi Lost, number 4, Kenobi Under Protest, number 3, Return of the Jedi, number 2, A New Hope, number 1, Empire Strikes Back. I'd like to start the bidding at number 4 above Kenobi beneath Return of the Jedi.
I kind of think it should belong at the bottom.
You think it's worse than Mandalorian season 1?
Yeah.
Okay, I can buy that.
Um,
Thrawn.
because I'm trying to re-listen. Oh, wait a minute. We're not doing the series though. We're just
Just
doing
the
the
one
book.
book. Just the one book.
So out of the three books in the series,
This
it
is the
is the
second
better.
best.
It is the better. I think it's
Okay.
the best
You like
of
it
the
better
three.
than the last one with the Death Star and Krennic?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think it's tiresome after book when once book one is done, everything after that is tiresome.
Okay.
So, um, maybe not too far from the bottom, but a little bit more from the bottom.
So above Andor, you think, or above Bad Batch?
But Bad Batch.
Okay, so it's the new
Because
number
I
6.
did enjoy it, but now that I'm on book two and I'm listening to it again, I'm just I have to take breaks from it.
So
It's
it
just
is
so
the bottom
freaking
of the
boring.
books, and in canon, it is number 5. So one last thing before we go, because my battery is dying on my laptop. Um, there last night was or Wednesday was the finale of Andor of Bad Batch season 2. I'm not going to get into specifics. I don't think Josie has seen it yet, but there is a major location from Heir to the Empire
That's
that makes a
cool.
return. Um, I think it was in the first season too, but when they show the pan out and they show what it is, I'm like, no fucking way.
Hmm.
Um, and I was like, this is the cool. If they go where I think they're going, this could be really fucking cool in the future. But we'll
Hmm.
talk about that. If you can you finish Andor, not Andor, Bad Batch season 2, and we'll bump that to next week because I
I
really
mean,
want to talk to someone about this.
I've watched it before. I guess I can try to rewatch it.
No, no, Bad Batch season 2, the one that ended on Wednesday, the current
Oh,
season.
I've been watching it, so I'm
Okay,
working on it.
okay,
It's
so
happening.
for next episode, let's talk about that. Because I
Okay.
really want to address what this season did. 'Cause I think they did a lot of really cool stuff here. But we'll wrap up there for today. Do you want to get a
Oh
joke
my
in?
goodness. Yeah, look who was unprepared this week.
Yeah,
You was.
I wasn't anticipating my laptop being this dead.
That's it. That's all I had. That was the joke.
Oh, was it? Okay.
No, I'm kidding. It's hard to find good jokes, so I wanted to
Hasn't stopped you in the past.
see if I wanted to ask a question this time.
Okay.
So, what would be like, what do you think would be the coolest force power to have? Or do you know any obscure ones? Just something that you think is the coolest.
Obscure ones? I don't
Mm-hmm.
really know too many.
All right, I will give
Um,
you some facts then.
okay.
Um, so there is one force ability that only Jedi can use, that only users of just the light can use.
Healing?
Yes. Um, let's see. Almost every single force power has like almost the exact same thing that can be done on the other side of the force.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Except lightning.
except for no, except for healing.
Oh.
And I guess so,
Well, healing and lightning could be diametrically opposed.
yeah, that's true. Let's see. Did you know that you can do force projections? Not you, but that there's such things as force projections?
Yeah, we knew that
And
from what was that? What was it? The one that everyone hated.
yeah, they that it was the first time that it appeared in a
A movie.
movie. Um, about uh oh my goodness, I don't have anything else other than those two right now.
Well, that's good. We can kill it
Um,
there. My battery's
yeah,
almost dead. So next week we talking about the Bad Batch season 2, and likely also talking about whatever they announced at Star Wars Celebration. So
okay.
until then, have a great rest of your week.